Imagine being trapped upside down in total darkness. Your chest pressed tightly against cold stone. Your arms pinned, unable to move. Every breath is a struggle. And with every passing minute, your chances of survival fade away. This is not the plot of a horror movie. This is the true, haunting story of John Edward Jones and the Nutty Putty Cave disaster. In November 2009, John Edward Jones was just 26 years old. He was a medical student, a devoted husband, and the proud father of a baby girl. He had his entire life ahead of him. During Thanksgiving week, John returned home to Utah to spend time with his family. Adventurous and outdoors loving, he decided to go spelunking with his younger brother Josh. Their destination was Nutty Putty Cave, a well-known spot just south of Salt Lake City. Nutty Putty was notorious for its narrow, twisting passages. Explorers gave sections of the cave names like the Birth Canal and the Scout Eater, nicknames that hinted at just how claustrophobic and dangerous these passages could be. But John had experience. He wasn't reckless, and he wanted the thrill of exploration. Inside the cave, the group split up to explore different tunnels. John and Josh searched for the passage known as the Birth Canal. Crawling on hands and knees, John spotted a narrow shaft sloping downward. Believing it was the entrance to the Birth Canal, he slid in head first. But it was not the Birth Canal. It was an uncharted, even tighter tunnel. And once John entered, there was no way back. He found himself stuck. The passage was just 10 inches high and 18 inches wide, barely enough for a human body. Pinned at a 70-degree angle, upside down, John's chest was crushed against stone. He could not lift his arms. He could not turn around. He was trapped. Josh quickly realized something was wrong. He tried to help, but the passage was far too narrow. Panic set in. At 12:30 a.m., Josh raced to the surface and called for help. Rescuers arrived swiftly. They had dealt with tight spots before, but nothing prepared them for what they found. John was more than 120 feet inside the cave, twisted into a nearly vertical shaft. His position was deadly. When the human body is upside down for too long, blood rushes to the head. The lungs struggle to expand. The heart strains under the weight of gravity. The longer John remained trapped, the more impossible survival became. Still, rescuers refused to give up. They set up an elaborate rope and pulley system, drilling anchors into stone, fixing carabiners, and slowly pulling John upward. For a moment, hope filled the air. John shifted, rising inch by inch. Encouragement echoed through the tunnel. But then, tragedy struck. One of the anchors gave way. The rope slipped, and John slid back down, wedged deeper than before. The cave walls had claimed him again. For the next several hours, rescuers fought desperately. They worked in shifts, crawling into the narrow passage to keep John company, to speak with him, to comfort him. They pumped oxygen into the shaft. They prayed with him. But every hour that passed made the situation more dire. John's voice grew weaker. His body was failing. At midnight on November 25th, 2009, after more than 27 hours trapped upside down, John Edward Jones was pronounced dead. The news shook Utah and the entire caving community. John was not a careless thrill-seeker. He was a husband, a father, a son, and a brother. His death was a heartbreaking accident in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. Authorities faced an impossible decision. Removing John's body would require extreme risk to rescuers. The passage was too tight, too unstable. And so, with heavy hearts, they sealed Nutty Putty Cave forever. John's remains remain inside, turning the cave into both a tomb the memorial. At the entrance today, a plaque honors his name. John's story is a chilling reminder. A reminder to never underestimate nature. To never enter dangerous passages head first. To always respect the earth beneath us. His tragedy teaches us that even the most skilled and prepared can meet disaster when risk is ignored or when circumstances go horribly wrong. John Edward Jones's story lives on not only as a tragedy but as a lesson. A lesson in humility. A lesson in caution. If this story moved you, subscribe for more true stories of real-life tragedies and mysteries. Stories that show us both the limits of human endurance and the courage we find in the face of darkness.